my issue is with a lot of this is that we have a lot of people that instead of spending time by themselves and working on their issues, what they do is they run from relationship to relationship to relationship instead of being by themselves. It's like this deathly afraid of being on their own. That's the insecurity. That's the insecurity that I think is causing a lot of this plan A, plan B, plan C business. If I really believe in myself, and I do believe in myself, if I believe in myself, I don't need to have a plan A or a plan B that I'm just waiting in the wing just in case this doesn't work out. I believe enough in myself that as soon as I get single, if that's the situation that happens for me, I'll be fine. I'll find somebody else. I trust God. I don't need to be stringing people along in disrespecting my situation and leaving with regrets because I don't feel good enough about me that I can not have a plan B. That's really what it comes down to. I don't believe enough in myself to just try it. I'm not secure enough in myself to believe that if I just put all my eggs in one basket, that once I'm done with the situation, if that was to occur, that I'll be okay. There's a belief, the core belief that's driving that behavior is saying, I don't believe that I'm going to be okay. And what we are seeing is a society that's being run by their insecurities. What we are seeing is a society that is being run by flesh, carnal. Where you're going down an aisle and you're saying, I do. Going down an aisle, saying I do, and you have a plan B? Come on. We don't even understand that. We don't even understand. We just want to be in something. We want to be in something to be in something, not understanding what that actually means. That just tells me that we're getting in relationships for selfish reasons. We're getting in relationships for needs that we need to be able to meet on our own as a grown woman. As a grown woman, I should be able to validate myself. As a grown woman, I should be able to say that I am good enough. As a grown woman, I should be able to be by myself for a little bit. As a grown woman, I should be able to enjoy my own company. That's what grown women do. And when we come around here and we want to say we grown and we independent and we're this and we're that, but we can't be by ourselves. We say we grown, we independent, but we're hypersexualizing ourselves for $1. We say we grown, we independent, but we're getting mad at people for not taking us to 5-star restaurants or not feeding us when we can't feed, because we can't feed ourselves. But we grown women. The problem is, somebody said in the chat, and I'm going to use your disgusting comment to make a point. A lot of women think that because we got grown bodies, we grown women. Just because I have a body don't mean I'm grown. Grown is a mindset, family. Grown is a mindset. Grown is not a body type. And what we're finding is that a lot of women are conducting themselves like teenagers. Because that's what teenagers do. Teenagers have plan Bs. Teenagers are insecure and run by their insecurities. That's what teenagers do. But yet we have teenagers running down the aisle saying I do, ultimatuming men into saying I do to you, possibly. That may not be true. I'm just saying that for effect. But you ultimately giving a man an ultimatum to say I do to you, and you're not ready for I do because you have a plan B. If you got a plan B, don't get married. That means half of the women that are getting married should not be getting married. If 50% of women have a plan B, they should not be getting married. That would actually cut the divorce rate by 50%. Which means if half of the women who do not, if you've got a plan B, stop saying I do. That would cut the divorce rate by 50%. I think for me that I'm getting disappointed. I'm getting disappointed with what I am seeing. Because I think a lot of people, and it's culture, right? It's modern culture. It's what we are seeing on the internet spaces. It's what we're seeing. But I'm sorry, y'all. When I looked up that statistic and somebody sent me that, I wanted to come on here and tell you guys that wasn't true. Because that was true for me when I was in my early 20s, but after my early 20s, it was no longer true for me. Right? I didn't have a plan B. In fact, I had a homegirl at the time. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I had a homegirl at the time that actually confronted me about my behavior. She was like, and I saw how she had relationships, and she was putting her all in to every guy that she was meeting, right? And I admired that on some level, but didn't on some level as well. And one day she was like, why don't you just like try to just give your all to somebody? And I was deathly afraid of that. I was being confronted with the real anxiety that I was feeling because I just didn't want to be hurt again. I didn't want to be hurt in the same way. I had been vulnerable. I'd opened myself up. That first heartbreak, y'all know what that first heartbreak is like. Men, y'all know. You get your heart broken the first time, it wakes you up like nothing else. And you basically like, you know what? I'm not okay. You never gonna catch me slipping again. This heart, oh no, we putting the guard up, baby. You're not gonna get this again. Sam's heart gonna be guarded. But it really was a testament to, having a friend of mine that was checking my behavior. And I realized that I was allowing the pain of the past to dictate my behavior. And so moving forward, I did open my heart up. And I was in a long relationship, and then I got married. But long relationship, we broke up, and then I got married very quickly in the next relationship. And so I will say that, when it comes down to it, I think that a lot of us, because we live in this fast-paced, instant gratification culture, it makes us ill-prepared for what marriage and relationships require. I'm saying that even for myself. When it came to relationships, because as I stated before, I was somebody that was finding plan Bs as well. I was when I say plan B, y'all, I'm not talking about plan B as in the medication. I'm talking about a plan B. We talking about men. Okay, we're talking about another option. We had a connection with a man that we're continuing to maintain while we're in relationship with somebody else, because if this fails, we got this. And I was just confronted about that, and I stopped doing that, and it came down to me being insecure. That's what it came down to. And I think that a lot of young women and a lot of women, let's just not even say young, but a lot of women are insecure. A lot. And because a lot of women are insecure, they're driven by their insecurities, and they're making decisions based upon those insecurities. That's that. And when I'm telling you to make decisions based upon clarity, that means that I don't allow myself to have, I'm put all my eggs here, there, and there. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. A lot of times when we don't put our eggs all in one basket, like we're in a relationship with somebody, if we're dealing with someone and we put our eggs in another basket, you end up with regret because you realize in that relationship, if it does fail, you're like, I could have given more. There's more I could have done. You walk away from that relationship not necessarily feeling like you gave your best, right? It's better to walk away from the relationship knowing that you gave your all. You walk away with more peace that way. The ones that keep crying, they're all upset, they're this, they're that. I know when I look at them, I'm like, you didn't give your all in the relationship. Y'all know when somebody passes away and there's one person that wasn't really that involved with the person while they were alive, and then that person passes away and they're the most distraught, you know that they're dealing with cognitive dissonance. The cognitive dissonance is what's whooping their tail. It's the same thing with relationships. If I know that I didn't give my all in a relationship, I didn't put all my cards on the table like I should have. When I walk away from that relationship or that relationship fails, I end up with some regret. It's called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, I'm doing something that I don't believe, right? Everything that we do, family, there's a psychology lesson. Everything that we do has to make sense. Everything we do has to make sense. Our beliefs have to be in line with our actions. So when our actions and our beliefs don't align, we have to either change the belief or change the action. Okay, so if I say I don't like liars, I can't stand a liar. But then I lie. I have to change the belief. Well, I can lie only when my life is on the line. That's okay when I can lie in those circumstances. So now I have made whatever I'm doing make sense. Right? And so what people do is when they're in relationships and they're trying to hold different beliefs, cognitive dissonance comes in when I'm holding this belief, like I don't, whatever about the relationship, like I'm not a cheater, or I don't want whatever that may be about the relationship. I don't know why the relationship's ending or what their behavior is in that relationship. Like I'm a good boyfriend, but I'm cheating. I'm a good husband, but I'm disrespectful. Like whatever that may be, those two things can't exist. I have to change something about my belief or change something about my behavior, or nothing about it makes sense. Right? And so what happens is that you'll find this with some exes. Y'all might have some female exes that you could see this with. The people that do the most to you, and then you eventually get tired and then you leave. They be the most bitter, the most angry, the most hateful. It's like, why? You gave me every reason to leave. And that's called cognitive dissonance. Because what they believed about the relationship and their behavior in the relationship they don't equate. They literally don't exist. They can't exist. So they either have to make you a bad person or they have to be a bad person. And they don't want to be a bad person. So they have to make you a bad person. Right? Do y'all get that?